How's it going, guys? Dragon Star Production here, back with another What If video, and in this edition of Dragon Ball What Ifs, we will be covering a reboot of a former What If that I have done on my channel, that being What If Future Goten Survived the Androids. However, I will be changing the series to What If Goten was in Trunks' timeline, or in the future. And I feel like I could write this story so much better now because my style has grown and adapted so much since I first wrote this, and I feel like I can make the product way better now than initially trying to make a continuation of a flawed What If. That being said, I'll shut up and thank Super Savage for editing this video for me. I'm going through a bit of a hard time and I really appreciate him helping me out, so make sure you go over there and subscribe to his channel because he makes pretty good Dragon Ball content as well as some other animes as well. However, instead of an intro, we're going to be skipping that and jumping straight into the story. Our story begins rather the same, the only exception being before Goku falls to the heart virus and dies in this timeline, he and Chi-Chi were able to conceive Goten. However, most events would still take place the same, such as the androids wiping out all the Z-Fighters, but Gohan at this time, who is only a kid, and Goten and Trunks, who are both babies at this time. So it will be a while before Goten and Trunks will impact the story. However, I can say that Gohan makes it a point to train Goten as soon as possible. Chi-Chi at first will be very hesitant to this, but Chi-Chi eventually wouldn't have a problem with this since she realizes that it could be their last hope to survive on beating the androids. That being said, Goten will become quite strong, but not as strong as Gohan. Then it was on a late night. It was raining and Gohan and Goten were both up extremely late training. Goten all throughout the fight would ask questions about his dad and Mr. Piccolo, just wanting to know the stories and understand more of his brother, who was only concerned about being just like Goku. Goten just wanted to know why. Although the little brother meant to do no harm, Gohan had pushed all these memories to the back of his head, and when these emotions came back up, Gohan just broke. He lashed out. Not out on Goten, but he screamed. Gohan was shaking. Gohan was enraged at the fact that almost everyone he loved was gone and there was nothing that he could do but remember the amazing things that they had did and try to live up to their legacies and figure out whatever to defeat the androids. Gohan was enraged that they all fought for him and none of them survived but him. Gohan yells at the top of his lungs, "Why not Dad? Why couldn't it be Mr. Piccolo or even Vegeta that survived? You darn androids!" Right after Gohan screamed, the aura was gone and Gohan had passed out while Goten watched amazed on the side that his brother just became a Super Saiyan. But also Goten understood why Gohan wished to be so much like his father. Goku was a hero. Goku risked his life in every fight and always found a way to win. And Goten understands that Gohan simply wants to win so that these deaths and these lives of everyone still alive mean something. Now, we take a next step to the brothers would be for Gohan to master Super Saiyan and for Goten to actually obtain Super Saiyan. The two brothers remained training side by side each other every day. However, Gohan would sneak out of his house about once a week and go try to fight the androids. Somehow he always managed to make it back before Goten was awake, knowing that he would rush to the fight as well. That being said, I'm going to jump one more time to about the time of the story of Trunks or the history of Trunks special. Gohan by now would have Super Saiyan for some time while Goten is on the break of achieving it himself, even showing glimpses of the aura during some intense training between the two. However, one day the androids started destroying a city and Gohan made his way right over to fight the androids, but Goten refused to let him go alone, so follows behind. Also though, Trunks would want to fight after hearing about the androids on the radio while in the car with Bulma. Gohan and Goten arrive first, but before Goten could rush in, Gohan would chop him in the back of the neck, knocking him out just like he does Trunks in the canon story. Gohan is fighting with all the androids and all of a sudden Trunks comes in with a flying kick, catching android 17 right across the jaw. All this does though is make 17 laugh as he turns his head and says, "Look sis, a new play toy. Can't wait to see how long this one does until it breaks." 17 then leaves his sister 18 to fight Gohan while he basically beats down on Trunks. And anytime Gohan tries to help in the fight, the androids tag team him, forcing him to keep getting knocked back. Even though 17 got tired of toying with Trunks, so he was about to kill him with a Begone blast. But luckily, Goten came in with a full force headbutt right to the skull of 17. This does cause 17 to go flying, and then Gohan turns back, nailing 18 with a Kamehameha because he had a slight edge when not being double teamed. So when 18 was out of commission for a small amount of time, Gohan rushed to aid his younger brother Goten, who was clearly going to need his help. Goten and Gohan decided to return to some tag team attacks. Gohan gut punched 17 while Goten hit a knee straight to the face. 17 was knocked to the ground, and the brothers thought that they were about to finally defeat 17 when 18 would come back into the picture, shooting a blast straight into both of their backs. This gives 17 the chance to regroup and forces the trio of Gohan, Goten, and Trunks all to retreat to the closest places near them. This happened to be Capsule Corp, which probably would be the best option for the trio to actually go, because after this, Gohan, Goten, and Trunks all have to convince Bulma that Trunks needs to train because they need all the help they can get when it comes to beating the androids. Bulma doesn't want to say yes, but she also knows that Trunks isn't going to listen to her whether she says yes or no. So this does mean that we will have Gohan being the master to both Trunks and Goten in this timeline. And due to it being the three of them training, I'm actually going to say both Goten and Trunks obtain the Super Saiyan transformations during this because they have an extra partner in training. And Gohan even believes that there are stages beyond Super Saiyan. However, the group finally broke. They witnessed the androids demolishing another innocent city, and all three rushed in as Super Saiyans. The androids don't seem to be bothered, but they should have been. Goten and Trunks double-teamed 18 while Gohan was beating up 17. The androids quickly found themselves trying to retreat, but before once, the Saiyans had built an advantage over the cyborgs. Eventually, 17 and 18 would both get flattened near some destroyed buildings when Gohan, Goten, and Trunks all rise above them when the three yell, "Kamehameha!" The three blasts would all intercept one another and eventually nail the androids, evaporating both in the progress. Finally, the androids have been defeated. This time, Gohan managed to stay alive, but Bulma still had the idea of the time machine. Bulma comes up with the time machine still because she wants to bring Goku back to life with the heart by his cure, but also because she wasn't sure if Gohan, Goten, and Trunks were going to be able to defeat the androids at the end of the day, so she was already working on the project while they were fighting. However, Bulma wasn't ever so wrong. Bulma had just convinced Goten to go back in time because, well, Bulma decided Goten because Goten wasn't born when Goku was alive, so he wouldn't easily be able to give the heart virus antidote without giving anything away of who he is, well, if they didn't notice that he looked like Goten. However, around the time that Goten was supposed to go back into the past, he wasn't anywhere to be found. Turns out Goten was trying to fight the threat that was just absorbing innocent people. Goten, however, had no luck, but only could assume that it was another android who managed to survive. Goten tried to sense out the energy, but he couldn't really find anything when he feels all of a sudden Trunks' energy at Capsule Corp drop. He couldn't feel him at all. Goten rushed his way. However, when Goten arrived on the scene, as well as Gohan, who was looking for whatever this threat was in another city, they noticed the Capsule Corp has been broken into. The brothers walk inside. The walls were blasted through. The Capsule Corp employees were drained of all life, and the two hit each other hard. But when Gohan came across Bulma's lab, they would find her laying on her desk with a cigarette still lit, burning on the ground. This made Gohan lose it in a blind rage. While Goten would go near the last area, he felt Trunks. When Goten got there, he found Trunks' blue jacket on the floor. Goten, just like his brother, was lit in an enraged gold aura, but the two was way too hurt to realize whatever it was gone in the time machine. Alright guys, that has been part 1 of What If Goten was in Trunks' timeline. I really hope you guys enjoyed this What If. Make sure you smash the like button, and like I said before, go over to subscribe to Super Savage channel because he makes pretty good content and he edited this video. So if you like this style, then you'll like his style. That being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'll see you guys out.